We're all on this beautiful spiritual journey, really shifting from that 3D person that makes it all happen to leaning more backwards and surrendering to your essence, your I am. And lately, I really find myself in that last category, that I am state. And the reason I want to make today's video is I just popped out of it straight away into my human when bill after bill started popping in 2 days time. I'm like, ugh, and my whole body's like contracting and like, I don't know what to do with it. I want to talk about in this video how to deal. I feel like I'm back again, but so how in just a few hours time, how do we deal with then I'm in that state and you are, like, once you live in that state of presence, once you live in that state of I am, how you go about things that are thrown at you in your life. And when you could say like I'm everything or I'm nothing, I'm it all, and then all of a sudden I'm like, with every bill that came in, I'm sucked back into my human, panicking and thinking this is not gonna work, what a bullshit, this whole spiritual, forget about it. Just moments of panic, but pure panic. I felt like my blood was boiling, my whole body is like so small, so limited, and fearful in a way, like this survival, like how am I surviving without money? It can't happen. My logic mind is, you can't live like this. And now in this new way of being is like, I'm not just going to work in a bakery or put in coffee or do whatever job. Or I'm a psychologist, I could just work as a psychologist as I used to do and make perfect fine money, no problem. But as I'm not feeling it, I don't want to push myself, because we speak to each other each week, right? Last week, a few days ago, I was trying, I have an offer, there's this boot camp, which is really if you're already a bit on the path and you want to really shift of, I'm done with the doingness and trying to make it all happen and notice it doesn't work, to shift to that state of beingness, more in a state of presence, where I don't judge, I let go and of identities, I let go of judgments, I let go of patterns and accept where I am. Beautiful state. So that was that boot camp. So I was working on, okay, it's already done, but people can do it, and let me make it easier. I do the first week for free. So you can just see it all and have the first week and have already amazing experience. And again, it's for people that are already on this path. If you're just starting out, this is not for you. At the same time, you have heard me speaking about I finished what I'm doing. I no longer resonate. So I was just kind of thinking, let me just make that easier, as I'm not going to invest my time and energy in it anymore. But people can make use of it, right? So that's amazing. And I make the first week for free and I feel so joyful, and let me do that. While I was doing it, a message came in with cost of this, and another message that I didn't even dare to open was related to my business that I'm closing, and I'm like, and I'm like, yes, I'm still trying to do things the old way, which I can do if I want, but it's just not longer what is aligned, and it immediately feels like it's I'm trying to push it through. I want to leave things behind in a good state so it's easy to access, which from my mind is so freaking logic. But my whole system is already here and it doesn't want that anymore. It's like, let it go, drop it. It's still accessible, just leave it. And I know I'm still going to do that. I'm going to finalize that, because at the moment you can't even access, because I do things behind the scene that now don't match up. So I will still, even if it's pushing, do that. Just so you know, that's what I decided. And I know it's against what wants to come, right? So I want to talk about, this is not a good example, what I just described here. It's just not a good example. It doesn't want to move anymore. The good example is, you know more than you admit, right? I know this doesn't resonate anymore. And I know that changing things there, even these technical things, is not important. It's not what really feels aligned. It's not what makes me feel like, oh yes, that's the next thing I want to do. I want to listen more what's present in every moment. And that one is still from my head. So that also happens, right? You can then choose to go with it or not. And I feel there's a lot of obstruction when I do that. And you might notice that in your life as well. I want to go to, okay, how to deal then with, like, for example, this bills are coming in, or someone demands something of you, or translate it to your situation. How do we go about that? Because it's real, or at least we think it is. It is that reality. How do we deal with that reality if we are like in that state, essence of presence, or wherever you are, in living in alignment? I really distinguish those three. But that's what this video is going to be about. You want to know the distinction once more? Okay. So good too. Just hear you asking. Living in alignment, where it starts with, right? You as your human. I'm going to make a big distinction because this is where this is about. There's a huge distinction between your human, let's just call your human, and your allness, your essence, your I am, which is everything. You are everything. And you might think of it all, or put yourself in a bubble like, okay, that's my everything, if that is too big. You know what I mean? Just imagine a bubble around you of your I amness, your essence, your divinity. Now, how to get here, someone asked. It started for me, and I think for a lot of people, listening to your intuition, start living in alignment with your higher self, your soul, your spark of infinity, or however you want to call it. Start living in alignment by it. How? By listening to your intuition. I spoke to a client, I think yesterday, and she says, everything I shared with her and I was giving to her, Celeste, yeah, I know this already. I feel that recently I'm so much trying to hold on to the old things and doing things the old way, seeing the friends that I have been seeing, although it does no longer resonate. They're in a space where I am just moving out of because I'm moving to a state of beingness. She says, I know, but it's so difficult to let go of the old way. I said, maybe you should stop saying that it's difficult, because actually it's not. And then someone tells you, you have permission, which is just me saying it and you feeling the confirmation. So maybe if that feels like a permission, take it. I don't want to align with the things in my life, as it says my client, as it used to be. Because I have my house, I have my job, I have my partner, I have my friends, and I have the way I used to do things. Much of it is no longer aligning. But it feels like such a big step to just drop that. I said, why? How would it be if you'd leave it? Don't drop anything, but just in every moment, and that's what I've been doing, when you start living in that alignment with your higher self, here's the human, here's the higher self, and you match more and more to what that is about. And how you do that by feeling every moment, is this aligned or not? I had an appointment to see the friend. Do I still want to see that in the moment it's coming, the day that I'm meeting? Does it feel like expansion, or does it feel like contraction and a must because I promised? I would say in every moment, honor yourself. Be with yourself. That's what I've been doing for years. Honor myself. That's why I lived for a year in the south of France on my own. It felt so good. Logically, I was lonely. No, I didn't feel lonely at all. I felt amazing. But I was very on my own, like hermit mode. And I just organized that to happen. I didn't know anyone around. I'm not from France. I'm from the Netherlands. So I created that space of, I can only listen to what I need. I followed it. So you can do that. That's what I said to the client. In every little bits of the things you're doing. Every moment. Every new moment you want to make a decision, you have to do something. The word have is already the old way. What's next? And so you don't have to throw this all around, but just what might happen, but just every little moment. Does it feel a yes or a no? Does it feel like a expansion in my body or contraction? Do I feel? And there's often especially on your spiritual path, there's a knowing. You freaking know it. I'm doing it. Me trying to still do some old things. I know it doesn't really fully align, but I just want to have it done. And probably it leads nowhere when I push it, right? So it's absolutely ridiculous I'm doing it, I admit. And maybe I won't, but I know I will. And yes, it's against all odds. But yeah, that's my free will, so that's what I will do there. So, but you can just step by step. So that's what I've been doing a lot, living in alignment with my higher self. And and if you don't know how to do that alone, I have a program, right, called Starseed Rising. We do it together. And that's something I'm soon going to take off the market. I'm soon not I'm investing in that anymore. But I will still do till the end of this year. The end of December, I will be in their program regular. Let me not talk about that anymore. So that's the alignment. Then I went to a space of, and see where you are at, and presence, being in every moment. And this is still very much for my human. This is very still my human living in alignment, and there the presence, my human being in presence with all that is in every moment. So there, the more I started to align and the more I started to listen, things started to drop away. First of all, money. It's a good one to fall away, right? So you're forced to switch. Money fell away. The things that I'm doing were falling away. Clients were falling away, and people were not coming in my program anymore. It was time to collapse it. So it was really hard. And then I got absolutely exhausted, I needed to stop for a month to let it all drop. So that's information. That is not disaster. That is not something moving against you. That's information. Something wants to collapse because I need a shift. So I started to create a 21 days boot camp, right? That's the one I'm trying to make easier for you to do the 7 days. Once you have been living in alignment, you start to move to, okay, now I was so desperate. I need a move. So I really started to come to that state of the end of the 21 days, that state of presence, being with what is and being okay. Even the bills started to add up and rent. Yeah, starting to add up, right? There's no money for things. And so I borrowed a big clunk of it to, again, survive a bit. But it goes very quickly. The end is already inside, and things are not being paid and bills piling up. It is what it is. All I do is being present with it, right? And at a certain point, I come to a state where I realize that I'm really accepting my situation. I'm okay with it. I can't be bothered, but still for my human is okay with it. It is what it is. I know I need to shift. I'm just present with what is. And I started to realize, oh, but now I'm coming in the frequency of being okay with not having money, being okay with everything is taken away from me, being okay with that. Actually, I started to get into the frequency of it and started to create more of it. It's like, oh, spiritual pitfall, fell into it. Then I went on holiday, I went to travel, and that's what I spoke about last week. Starting to get out of that pitfall, and I was like, no, that's not what I want to create. I talked about last week how I then get into, let me not repeat that, into that state of presence. Into that state of presence. So ordinary, so normal, so familiar, so balanced, feeling so well and finally I'm stepping away from the human. So I am the human. I am me, Alice. And I am that presence. And I feel more and more in that state of presence while I'm acting out the character, the avatar, Alice, having an experience. But I'm not identifying with it. I really feel that's the next stage I'm in. And I could do that because of what I've done before. And it's not, some people just step in that immediately from nowhere to that. Great, most don't. And it's great to have some tools that help you to move here. All right. And then the bills. And then me being sucked back in. Let's talk about that. So in that place of innocence, of presence, of just existing. Beautiful. And then there's a higher bill than I expected. There's something around the corner I didn't expect it. And it's as if it's thrown at me. Are you still there? I don't know. It's just what I make of it. Are you still present? Are you still in your essence? Right? Slapping around my face. It felt like left and right. Like, oh. And I was here in the room. I was like, my human was freaking out. Like, how can I be in essence and have that thrown in me? I just want to be in a space where everything just comes naturally. It's like abundance and just, I don't want to do this anymore. How? I was like desperate, like how? And today there was another one around, slap around my face. Here is another one. It's like, I've been crying it out this morning. I just can't do this anymore. This human disaster, I'm going to cry again. This human limitness. And this is the place I needed to go to. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm fed up for so long, for so many months. No money. How can I live like this? And there's nothing outside of me that changes that. It's me. And I have the knowledge that makes it even more frustrating. I understand the concept. Imagine I'm that presence. I'm sitting there just beautiful in me. And then it's thrown at me. And I'm straight sucked back into my human. Literally freaking panicking. And I'm like, stop it already. I get the message, but I don't. Otherwise, it doesn't continue. And what message I'm talking about? Stop taking your human so freaking serious. Stop taking the avatar, the character, the human so serious. It's just an experience. But it freaking hurts. And I don't want this experience. And I'm not choosing this anymore. Like, I don't want the experience of lack. I'm already presented it as the abundance, which I really felt in the holiday, actually. The borrowed money, I felt abundance with. And it felt so good. And I'm in that state of essence and my divine being. And, so good. So I stepped out of that. But these bills are bringing me straight back. And I'm so freaking tired of those bills. And this needing to have this human game of money. I'm like, enough already. Stop. And then my beautiful friend, which I call my quantum friend, Agnes, where I play in the field with, we really match the same language in the same states. So she's a little bit ahead of me, being able to stay there. I'm like, I come down this morning. I'm so in emotions. I'm feeling it again as I'm saying it. And I'm crying. I said, please take me by your hand. I'm just reliving it. Please take me by your hand and show me that I am. And how am I staying there? Because I can't do this anymore. And you might be there in your life. Or you might come to a point where you're like, I can't do this anymore. Enough of it. And there's no longer things that limit me in a way, blah, 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 blah. Forget about it. Okay, that's not what I need to say. And I love sharing this with you. because I know I'm not the only one. I know you go through phases like this, and I know you might feel like, oh, I don't know. And wherever you are in that process, right, there's moments that you're like, no more. Okay, so what did we do this morning? I'm not in that state I felt or feel, I don't know, but I feel like I'm reliving it, or maybe I'm being a human again, feeling that. So she takes me by her hand. She's like, Alice, you can experience your human experience, but can you also step back in all that you are, your greatness? And it's not separate. What you are doing is separate the two. You're either in your human, playing your human game, or you're in your expansion, in your presence, in your I am. You're not either or. You're all of it. And as the I am is her words, as the I am, you're everything. And you're now choosing this experience, but can you imagine in your I am, you have all the experience. There's nothing new that you're exploring. All the possibilities are there. You are all of it. You're everything. You're every experience. And you're choosing this one over and over again because you believe that that's your reality. You believe you have no money. You believe there's bills. You believe. But I'm like, and I know when she says it, but it feels so real. She says, yes, I know. It feels so real. She says, but it's one choice that you made, and you're everything. Why would you make that choice over and over again? It's because you believe that what happened yesterday and the day before and last week and last month and last year is a reality that continues until this moment that you're here. But that's not true. That's just in your mind recreating it. That's not there. Where is it? Can you touch it? That's just in your mind. You're recreating your reality in every moment, believing that all that happened before is true. She says, but that's only one, and I know she's right. This is one of the choices you made there. That's one timeline. You can also call it, right? And you can continue on that same trajectory. That's okay. But you're everything. You can choose anything. Or you can just choose, you don't even have to choose. You can just be that. And then see your character, you're human, receiving bills. But it doesn't mean anything. Hear me out. It doesn't mean anything. It's just one play that's being put on the stage there. And you can choose from everything. You don't have to buy into what's happening. So that's one element of it. The other element, the understanding of that, the letting it sink in. And I've heard it 1,000 times, and sometimes I feel it. In that moment, I couldn't. And I said, most of all, I just want to come back here. She says, but you never went away. And I know it all, but so good to hear. It's not something you go away from. You're always everything. You're always your essence, your divine essence. Always. You just step out of it not believing you are. That's all you do. Let me repeat. You just, when you're not feeling it, you're just stepping out of it, believing, or you're not even stepping out of it. You're just believing you're not that in that moment. But it never left you. It's always there, even if you have never felt it. It's just what you are. That's more true than that human, little, limited, small human. So feel that. And this is what someone, especially if you're a healer or doing anything spiritual work. So I can feel back into it, but it takes me a little while. In that relaxed state, right? Not the bliss state, not the going up, not the frequencies, but I believe that it all was, but just the stillness within you. And I ask her, can you feel it? It's like, yeah, it feels good. certain point, yes, you're there. And I'm like, it takes too much time. It takes too much effort. I'm making effort and I can't effort my way into all that I am. And then it just dawned to me, I said, oh, but when I'm a psychic, when I do psychic work with people, actually it takes me this long to get into their field. Let me do that. I said, let me do that. And you feel how that feels. So I'm going to do that now. And if you can feel that, because this for me was like, oh, that's really fast. So I'm going to do it now. And if you're sensitive, just feel with me there. I clear my energy. So it's really like, higher self, let's clear my energy and all the emotions and beliefs that are not mine. Just clear that. So I really feel it falling off me. And then I'm going into that field. It's all in the programs I'm doing. You can learn that. But now I'm just going to do that so you can feel that. So let me just go in there now. And there I am. What am I doing? I can't explain. It's just have done that so many times. I'm just there. Oh yeah, I have things I used to do. I teach those, but I'm not going to do that now. All in the programs. That state of flow. Here we are. And she's like, oh yeah, but that feels good. I said, yeah, I know. But it does feel like nothing. She said, but that's it. But it's everything. I was like, oh yeah. So if you're a healer, if you work with energy, when you work with others, what do? What state are you going into? That state, that's your presence. That's your essence. That's all. But it doesn't feel like anything. It doesn't feel like anything. It's so simple. But that's it. It's not rainbows, it's not unicorns. It's just that presence. And in that field, in that quantum field, in that state, it's very easy to read the field, right? And to sense energy and to all that. But that's the state. It's like, oh yeah, but that's easy. It's like, yeah. And it's not a state, it's just what you are. But you just be quiet. That's what I do. I just quiet my mind just for a moment. That's where I am. Poof. It's poof. That's where I come back. So what do I do with my bills then? I'm here. I'm everything. And there are the bills, doing their story, doing their things. I just don't want that play anymore, like on a stage, right? You can have your life could be a play on a stage. And I'm like, I've seen that play enough. I want something else. And now I can choose something else directly as an intention, being it money, love, whatever. I'm not such a fan of those things. I'm just seeing myself as abundant net. Yes, not from trying to get away from something. Just like, yes, that's an intention. I just want it to be easy. I just want money to flow and I want it to be easy. And the only thing I can do that is by not making it so important. Not giving a lot of meaning to it. Not making that a thing that if I have that, I feel so much better. That doesn't work. For me, what is most important outside of just saying that and stating that and demanding that, what is most important for me to be in this state of essence. And then seeing my human being part of that. It's just part of everything. And don't take it so freaking serious. So once I'm here, there's not much issues. Then I feel like all these bills, it will sort itself. It will find a solution. I don't have to know. What I do is I move into there every time over and over again, trying to figure it out. So something then just happens out of nowhere. And I'm like, ooh, my human, I'm here. Something happens that brings in money. And I'm like, I immediately go to my human. Ooh, that's so good. Ooh, maybe more can come from there. Or maybe that can go into something that I can generate. And I snapped out of it, right? It was just so playful. So that's the invitation to stay here and see that money coming in is like, oh, that's great. As much as, ooh, there's a bill. It just doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean it was successful. I need to do something with it. If I feel it, I will. But I don't need to. If I feel an urge, yes. But otherwise, oh, that's just happening. That's just happening. And don't take it so serious, because the more you focus on that human and that experience, then that's the only play I'm going to see. Repeating itself. So I'm just all my attention and focus with believing that what happens there is the only thing that is real and the only thing that can happen in my life and the only choice I have to deal with it. Then I'm putting oil on the fire, and it's more created of that. If I take the oil out, if I take my attention away from it, that's when that fire will stop burning, because I don't pay attention to it. I don't put any meaning to it. I don't take it so serious. I mean, it's learning in progress, right? I'm saying as if I mastered this. I don't. Especially money is so good one to learn this game, to learn how to do this without taking it so serious. That's why it's showing up, because it's perfect, because it makes me go back to that human. So, and I want to figure it out. I want it to end. And no, just taking an ordinary job is not what resonates in the moment. What resonates is me getting skilled in this game that I'm just describing to you by not taking it so serious. That's my job now, I feel. That's what is most important. That's what I want to talk about and master and get better in. And I'm feeling into it. Do I want to do that together with people or in a group? And I'm not feeling that right now. So you're on your own. That's it for today. So much there, right? So where are you with it? How is that going for you? One thing I want to give to you is, because that's what I hear over and over again once I work with people, and mostly that's a few clients and mostly in the coaching calls, it is once you point things out, people always say, I knew that already. But I didn't dare to admit it to myself, and I didn't dare to step into that space of the unknown, of the uncharted territories. This is new for our humans, really, to work with these energies and move in this fast way of shifting, right? It's new. Yeah, and it's hard sometimes, difficult sometimes, but let's not use those words. It can also be like that. But I did it step by step by step. Got myself here, right? Got myself here. All right, I want to finish. When you feel an inkling, act upon it, listen to it, take it serious. The more you do that, the more easier it is to get information and to be guided. All right, enough teaching. That was it for this week. Much love. Beautiful to connect with you. And I'm seeing you in another one. Bye-bye.